has chosen the storyline spread for your general monthly reading, which is a scattershot across the entire sign, telling 3, 4, or even 5 different stories for people going through different scenarios this month. The stories can be about any topic, so the floor is wide open. People say that often multiple stories do and will resonate with them, but the main goal of the storyline spread is to find that one story that is all about you. And that is what we're going to do today. Welcome in, Sagittarius. It is time for your storyline spread for March 2024. Spirit has broken up your storyline spread into 3 different parts, so we have 3 different stories to tell. Let's find the story that is all about you, shall we? We're going to start with story 1. Story 1 is going to be my shortest story of the group. This is for my Saggies who are having some kind of financial or health issue right now. I have my Ace of Pentacles inverted, and of course Pentacles are usually financial, but it can also represent health for a smaller portion of my audience, of course. So for most people, this is going to be financial deals, things that have not, maybe deals that have not been deals, right? Has not been completed yet. Maybe you're waiting for some money from somebody or from a source or for your government check or something like that, right? That's what we start as a connector piece here. So if that sounds like you, Saggy, this is more than likely your story. Now what they talk about next with what to do about this situation that you're in, or what you need to do to improve your financial situation that you're in, is new ideas. We have Ace on top of Ace. So new, you want new money? Hey, it's going to take some new ideas, new ways of thinking, light bulb effects going off in your mind. And they're letting you know that in March, it's going to be a very highly divination-inspired type of thing. So you are going to be getting creative ideas. Saggies are going to be extremely creative. Those juices are going to be flowing here in March, guys. I like the way that looks for you. Now, the next thing that Spirit tells us here is with my Oracle Angel card, because the story is, like I said, very short. This here is you know what to do. It says in the card directly to trust your inner knowledge and then act upon it without delay. So Spirit is pushing you hard here for action, not for waiting or for inaction. They're saying, no, you're good. Go for it. You already know what to do. If you already know what to do, that makes my job from this side of the table much easier. So, because I don't have to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. You just have to do it. You just got to pull the trigger and make it go. So that is the key here. These new ideas are what gets that trigger pulled, what gets you to the next step, turns the financial situation around for you in March. Excellent way to start. Good job, Saggies. Let's move into story 2. I'm going to come down here. Saggies in story 2, the connector piece that they first bring in to see if this story is about you or not. If you're a Saggy who has felt like a lot of bad things have been happening to you lately and a little bit of victim mode, maybe you are a victim because of a certain situation. Maybe you're just a victim of heartbreak. Maybe you're a victim of things not working out the way that you thought they were going to with maybe work or something with the family or something like that. If that sounds like you, this could very likely be your story here. We have that piece to connect to, but what they're telling you here, the most important piece of this whole story 2, is that you don't have the whole picture. You might feel like you do. Be like, no, I know exactly what is going on with this person and why they did that and what's going on. Spirit here is saying, no, there's something missing here. You might have a large piece of the puzzle together, the story that is going on here, but you don't have the whole thing. You're missing pieces. And when you're missing pieces, you're not going to understand it, okay? And of course, maybe that's by design. Maybe you're not supposed to understand this thing. That's a much higher kind of spiritual realm of understanding, but you guys can get there, okay? They bring in this, well, the High Priestess inverted is not only about that, but this can also be about, hey, what really is needed here is more information. The same definition, but turned around into a scholastic point of view. Maybe some of you need to go back to school for something here or to learn a skill for something here to really improve this. Maybe it's counseling. We'll talk about that later there in 3. But what they talk about here is that there are new ideas already in place here in story 2 in your mind. You guys are already thinking of stuff, what to do about this. And they're telling you here they like the way you're thinking. We have a brilliant idea, not the victim aspect part, but what you do with it. Because, of course, it's not what happens to you in life or to anybody. It's what you do with what happens to you in life. That's what matters. So they talk about brilliant idea. They say, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your ideas into fruition. They talk about action again here in story 2. So you can see the web that they are weaving here. We have action everywhere for Saggies so far. The next thing they show us here is that this is going to be a big deal later in March, actually. They give us timing. They give you divine timing here, Saggies. They're letting you know that the major part of the story applies to later in March. So I don't know if that is like signing up for a course or hearing about this great program they have where you could learn this new skill or what this version is. But later in March is a big key trigger there for you. The next thing they talk about here is the Chariot inverted, which is my transportation card, and it coming in blocked or switched around on you here it could mean transportation issues in March, challenges going on. Maybe something goes on with the car. Maybe you have a hard time getting around on the bus pass or the subway or the train or whatever you're doing. Something, maybe it's just a day. Maybe it's a couple days that are just weird with transportation. Maybe there's a big block up on the highway and you can't get into work. They close the whole thing down because of something. Who's to say? But we have transportation coming in inverted, which is a kind of weird, not going so good there. We need to turn that around. Well, maybe you cannot turn that around. Maybe that's out of your control, which reminds me of something else I should probably tell you, that you want to worry about the things that are in your control and kind of let the rest go. The stuff that is out of your privy of control, the stuff that you have, for example, traffic. That's not your fault that there's bad traffic or accidents. That's just something that you got to deal with. You got to navigate and get through it because you're trying to get from A to B, but there's all this junk in your way, right? Well, it's out of your control. So why would you worry about it? Why are you going to stress about it? It's not going to make the traffic move any quicker. It's not going to make the accident resolve and clean up and get, the fire truck cleaning up the glass and the spilled antifreeze and all the mess and the ambulance picking up the people who need injuries. That's not going to help any of that along by you worrying about it. So just tell yourself that, take a deep breath, get over whatever what you got going on here that comes up as a challenge. The next thing they show here is getting into that nice balanced cerebellum, just that nice Zen moment peace here between two things here. So they're letting you know that not just do you have a great idea, but you actually have maybe multiple ideas here of things that you want to do or things that you want to attack in March. And they're letting you know here, it's okay to take some time to figure this out. This is not something that needs to be rushed. And they just want you to keep on the good side of your mind here, working on, the Jedi good side of things, the Zen side of things, opposed to the dark side, the dark places of your mind. That's really what they talk about to wrap up story 2 with. So the challenge or the left or the right, what I should do, yes, I should do this, no, I should not do this. Just take it easy. If you're not sure, I always say do less, do nothing until you are more sure. You have more of the information they talked about being blocked. You have more of that puzzle piece in front of you and you know what you're working with, okay? So story 2, try to find the calm in there. Let things unfold the way they need to. You get to where you're going. You have some great ideas, great moving parts there for you to implement some good things in your March. Let's get into 3, guys. Good time to tell you, too, that this is a general reading. So if these stories don't hit you perfectly or we don't find your story that is 100% about you, guess what? Use 60% of it. Use the information that whatever spirit touched on you with, that is the piece that is designed in here just for you. For everybody else, you really need a personal private reading. General reading's great for the general scope of things, but nothing beats a personal private reading, and you're not sharing the energy for all of your Sagittarius friends in a personal private reading. In fact, all of my clients, my customers, especially the ones who keep coming back time after time for more readings, I'm telling you, they are much happier. They're at a better place in their life because of planning and preparation. Everybody has bad things and challenges happen to them. We never get to avoid all that. That is not what we're here for. But the thing that they are equipped with that everybody else is not is that extra ammunition, being ready and prepared for what is coming. So all those I have a wide variety of services, guys, from small all the way up to full service on my website, scottsagent.com. Check that out, guys. Book your reading today. March is open. March calendar is open. Let's get into 3, guys. 3, and Sagittarius, I'm looking at my urgent reading chart here, and you guys got pulled for another urgent reading. So you guys check that out in a couple days here. Your urgent reading is going to be about a chakra scrub. So that is spiritual health. There's some kind of chakra that Sagittarius, they must be seeing a lot of Sagittarius have bound up, and they want to get that flowing again, get that nice flow going. So check that out in a few days there with your urgent reading, Saggies. Story 3, the first thing that comes in they want to talk about is really being authoritative with your family corner. Your loved ones, maybe your loved one directly, maybe just your close friends, whoever they're talking about, you're really being firm about something here, a major love decision perhaps, or you're standing your ground very nicely. That is good. Now here's why a lot of you are standing your ground there. So that is your attachment. What they show next is that there's a toxic thing here. There's a toxic situation. There's something that's unhealthy here. Maybe a friendship that you thought was a friendship and it's not, or something else unhealthy. Maybe, your job has turned unhealthy. who's to say? There's a bunch of different things different ways this can go. This could even be health related. Maybe some of your health has turned toxic and unhealthy, and we need to get that turned around here. So there's something that you're being firm about here, but they're showing something is toxic. That would let you know that the story is about you guys. Now let's talk about what to do about it, because this is something that can be remedied. Otherwise, we would not be discussing this here today. This would just be kind of like something under the radar, and because what are they going to do? They can't give you information to fix something not fixable, right? So obviously they feel like this is fixable. You guys got this. They bring an authoritative here with health, with finances, being really in a good spot with things. So we have double authority in the form of kings. My kings came up here. They did let me know, not the person though, so we are using the energetic definition of my kings here. So we have authoritative with the love in the family corner, and we have authoritative with health and finance for certain people. So I guess that's way of spirit saying, hey, this can affect a bunch of different categories for different folks, and because of that, they want me to focus on the toxic aspect. So that is what they really want you to address. Address the toxicity, get that cleaned up. They bring in my Prince of Cups and other decks. This is a Knight. In this deck, though, this is a Prince. This still means action. Action in the love corner. So they want movement, steps. What else is in action in the love corner? It may be taking a step forward with something. It is not taking a step back. It is not doing nothing. Again, we have action for Sagittarius. Every single story's got about action, just different forms of it. They talk about action with a relationship that has not gone well, a relationship that is upside down. This does not necessarily mean it's a love relationship just because it's coming up in the love corner. Likely it is. It's somebody very close to you, but let's say you had a fallout with your boss or a coworker. This would be presented more than likely in a very similar fashion to this. So it could apply to that as well, is what I'm saying. So Spirit here is telling you action. So you're the one that's got to take action, Sagittarius. You're the one that needs to fix this, even if you're not the one who broke it or did anything wrong. Sometimes we just got to be the bigger person here, Sagittarius. You're being called to do that. And maybe some of you are even just helping other people out here just in general because they give you Counselor. In my Oracle Angel card, it says you are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance, guys. So just, you know what? Hey, you got a lot to share. You guys got gifts. You got the talent, maybe the gift of gab. You guys are really able to help people out here and maybe help yourself out if you're in this situation directly. So really push here toward helping other people out who can benefit from your assistance here in March, guys. Something to look out for. Now let's grab that rune stone. It's actually already grabbed here for you, and it is movement. No surprise there because we have action in 1, 2, and 3, all of your stories. So a lot of things going on for Sagittarius. Not a month where it's kind of a lay low, take it easy, put your feet up in the hammock type of month. Not at all. We have movement everywhere, and we have movement in your runestone as well. So go with the flow as much as possible. Don't try to resist the movement because changes are going to happen, whether you are down with them to happen or not. So it's better to just try to not be too rigid as these changes are unfolding in your March. Something I forgot to do last month, I do apologize for that, is grabbing your extra angel protection card, because I'm doing that for all of the signs now. Just a little extra thank you for the entire year for you guys. Your angel card is from Archangel Michael. That's the big one. One of only 2 named angels in the Bible, Archangel Michael. And this card says you are safe. You are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home environment. So it's letting me know some of Saggies feel a little vulnerable in March. And that's okay, because they're letting you know here, it's okay to be vulnerable because you're protected. They got your back. It's like your bodyguard, like looking over your shoulder, making sure everything's okay. So you have some extra reassurance, extra protection in the month of March. So you don't need to be so worried about things, or, if you feel like you're in a situation that is not safe or maybe just a little uncomfortable for you, it's all right. It's all right. At least in March, you got a lot of angels on your side. So there we go. Let's get into your moon cycles. We're going to talk about some moon cycles. We have another super new moon coming in here in March, something to pay attention to. The new moon, very, very strong. And then I'm also going to conclude your reading with your homily, which is a spiritual pep talk done by me. I hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, it is moon cycles forecast time. Let's talk about these lunar energies that are all around us anyways, so we can use it to our benefit, implement some positive change into your month. Well, the first thing you need to understand is whether these energies are coming in or going out. Just like the tides, the moon has control of that. In the same way, you can use it too. The first thing that hits chronologically this month is the new moon. You're going to see all the text information on your screen, any rare occurrences, as well as the date. Now, this is a target date for the new moon. It doesn't have to be done on this date, guys. I really like to bracket a few days before and a few days after to get a very powerful week where you can bring new things into your life and really manifest. If it is NEW, it's not there before, brand new, this is the best time to bring it into your life. Something new financially, maybe something new with work, new love, new health. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, this is the best time of the month to work on these things. Really help bring it in. Adversely, the full moon, the opposite energy, the energy going out, hits on this date on your screen. And of course, the same rules apply. It doesn't have to be done on this date. We're talking about a week window, a few days on each side of it here. When this energy is very strong going out, and the energy going out is the best time to get things out of your life that don't belong there or that you don't want there. Something that's got control of you or hold of you that you don't want. Maybe something like a bad habit, maybe emotional baggage, a bill that's got to go. That would be something financially, maybe something with health, maybe an eating habit that's got to go. It doesn't matter if it's got to go. The full moon is your best bet to get this change to stick. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. I do it every single month. It is free. It is on the website, guys. You can check it out very easily. It is a little graphic illustration, a tool that you can use so you can kind of see these changes moving in and moving out so you can align things in your month to it to really get them to stick, implement some great positive changes. Now let's get into your homily. Welcome into your homily for March 2024. Today we're going to be talking about an experiment with rats. This little guy here is going to help give us an example of hope and how important it is for humans to also have hope. So this experiment we're talking about was done at, I think about 1954, at least in the 1950s, from Dr. Kurt Richter. He's a Harvard grad. He is a scientist at Johns Hopkins, and what he studied, what the experiment began with at least, was he wanted to see how long lab rats would last, who are very strong swimmers, by the way, in a bucket of water. So how long they could tread water for until they basically could not do it anymore and passed away. And by today's standards, this would be a cruel experiment. But in the 50s, a very different world back then. And this teaches us a very important lesson. So I'm almost glad that he did this for the sake of humanity learning how important this is. So what he did was he gauged that it was about 15 minutes on average how long the lab rats would last for. And he didn't understand why that was, because rats are very strong swimmers. They can swim. They're documented in science for swimming across large lakes, rivers, all kinds of things that take longer than 15 minutes. So the results weren't matching the real world, the reality of things. And he didn't understand why. So he set out to figure out why, because he started to realize that he thought they were giving up hope. It wasn't about that they couldn't last any longer. He thought that they decided that there was just no way out, no escape. And they literally just gave up, they surrendered. And in which case was their lives. So what he did was he gauged this by testing it, by doing the same experiment, except what changed was when he observed that they were giving up hope, when they were about to just take their last breath and go under the water, he picked them up, he saved them, he brought them up, he corralled them back he warmed them back up, he made sure that they're breathing again and back to normal. I don't know how long of a process that was, if it was a few minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, I'm not sure what. But once he felt that they were good again, he put them back in that same bucket of water. Nothing else has changed. So what do you think happened? We would expect maybe they're going to last another 15 minutes because that's what they did before. Or maybe they're going to last less because they're a little tired, right, from running around before. But that was not the results, not at all. The results would blow your mind. These results were hours later, not just 15 minutes. In fact, some of these rats swam for 60 hours the second time in the bucket. The only difference is having been saved, having that little glimmer of hope that there is something to aim for here and that you can pull yourself out here. And even though the rat wasn't pulling himself out, he didn't know what was going on. But he did have hope implanted in him from being saved. And that savior mechanism gave him hope to persevere and to keep going. And this was copied over many rats. And it wasn't just one rat who's, a marathon swimmer who just, could go 60 hours. This was many rats who just kicked the butt of the 15-minute time window, the second go of it, by about 240 times over. So this is a glimmering beacon of hope for humanity, that this is what you can accomplish in your future by having a little bit of hope, by persevering, doing things a little bit longer than you naturally would, by knowing that things are going to change, things are going to improve, things are going to get better. So the question I propose to you is how much longer you can swim for, how much longer you can persevere for, how much harder you would work at this if you knew that you were just this close to getting out of it. If the rat can do it, you certainly can do it. So that is just the power. It's not just the power of positive thinking, because it's beyond that. It's something much more intrinsic, much more spiritual, much deeper. And that is the lesson that this rat teaches us. That's why I wanted to share this experiment with you. It's very interesting to me, very intriguing, and also very profound, because I think this is something that we can all do with proof of how positive the outcomes can be in our lives. So I hope you guys have enjoyed your homily. Hope you've enjoyed the reading as well. I hope you can implement it in March. Hope you have an excellent March. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.